Space Muffins! It's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more of The Sims for Life in Stardust, a Sims History Challenge, and my bird is in my face. And, oh my god! Baby! We're gonna have baby. I forgot all about that till I went in. But yes, so, of course, there was, I was trying to organize my thoughts, but yes. So there were a couple suggestions that Gyro should be like a time traveler. And of course, after the fact last week, there was a good suggestion that he could have been a Time Lord. Ha! Tie into everything. I love how all my Sims stories tie into each other. It's kind of awesome. It's not planned, it's just magic. But obviously because I aged him up, that wouldn't be the case. Although technically the Time Lords were regenerating at adult stage, but anyway, I think I mean I like the idea that Gyro's a Time Lord, which not a Time Lord, but a time traveler, which kind of explains his hat and everything like that. Perhaps he was traveling with a Time Lord and, now ended up in this weird past on this other planet. And that would make logical sense if you think about it. And maybe, I mean, I was kind of like thinking, so I mean, I guess we'll have to kind of explore and see what his backstory is, because I feel like maybe he hasn't quite told Julius. But of course, I mean, if you think about it, Julius is now pregnant, so he would have to, I mean, I feel like Gyro would know, or, yeah, I feel like Julius would have told Gyro, like, hey, I have, like, alien DNA, and that is why I am pregnant, and Gyro wouldn't have been surprised. And would probably have to explain to him, oh, God, sorry. That is my text. That is my mother asking me about the crazy snowmageddon that we're getting, which I don't know. I haven't looked outside in a little bit, but I'm trying to find my book. We're supposed to get like up to a foot, and hi. It's barely that. I'm disappointed in snowmageddon. But anyway, so yeah. Julius would be explaining to Gyro about how the history of his family, and like this is what he's been told, because obviously he doesn't know his grandparents. God, they were his grandparents. Yeah, they were actually. Like he doesn't know Scion, but he knows from Nova. Nova saying that like obviously she's part alien, whatever. And he would, I feel like he would tell Gyro these things, especially now that he's magically pregnant. Baby Billy. Oh my God, that's true. We can find out what he's having now. Oh my God. But yeah, so second trimester in 10 hours. But he would have told Gyro, like, hey, so this is kind of why I'm pregnant. And, it's obviously the family DNA. And, like, my mom used to tell me that we had alien DNA. And, this is the history of our family. And, he's like, I mean, I always just figured it was stories because hi, alien DNA, whatever. And, but obviously, like, hi. I mean, there's always, like, those family, like, myths and legends, like, oh, we're related to a vampire. You're like, yeah, but come on. You know what I mean? Like, legends get started for a reason, like Dracula and all that stuff like that. Like, And then there's all the, well, this is the true story. Well, this is it. And then it becomes myth. And, like, even though it was his grandfather, like, and I feel like he probably, did he know? Did Scion die before he was born? I don't even remember. But let's say he didn't. Like, he knew Scion, like, but Scion never showed his alien form. He always looked like a person. So, I guess Julius probably was like, oh, okay, mom's an alien, half alien, and my grandfather's an alien. Like, never really, like, I mean, again, it's family legend, It'd be like your family being like, oh, we're descended from George Washington, and you're like, okay, sure, I guess I can tell people that, but, like, if someone actually proved it to you, you'd be like, wow, it'd be so much more impressive, because somewhere in your head, you're like, yeah, okay, sure, here, everybody thinks that they're related to, like, Cleopatra or whatever, and it's like, not everybody is, come on, like, but you know how big people have that, like, oh, I can trace my lineage back to, like, these people, and you're like, really? Because that's some good record keeping, because I'm not sure I can trace my lineage back to, like, my great-grandparents. I mean, I can, but, like, you know what I mean? There's, like, a point where I think we just actually had somebody, like, something, I swear something came out, like, we were traced back to somebody on somebody's side, and it was like, really? I don't remember. I don't know. But like, like not everybody has the great record keeping. But so of course, that's there's this myth in their family, and even though it's like a relatively close family, like if your parents were like, yeah, your grandpa's an alien, you'd be like, okay, crazy. And like, wouldn't necessarily believe it, even if it was your story. Or, even if he believed it, they would have been like, this is the story, but we keep this to ourselves. We keep it tight. We don't go around telling everyone this because this is like, the secret of our family type of a thing. And so I feel like Julius getting pregnant would tell Gyro, like, okay, so, I've told you about, my family's. I mean, I think Gyro would have known anyway, but now it would be like, yeah, obviously, what they were telling us is true. And Gyro wouldn't have not believed him anyway, just because he is a time traveler. And I feel like his story, because he can't be a Time Lord, because he is going to grow old and he is going to die, um, because that would just add a whole freaking other level to this, like trying to keep him alive forever. And it's like, since he's not technically like the heir or like the family, he's like the person we pulled in from the outside, it would just be really freaking weird, and that would just be a whole other level of work. So, but he was probably traveling with a Time Lord. Maybe he got picked up by 13th Librarian, who is out there searching, trying to find Madame Ethel, and whichever one of the kids got kidnapped, I can't really remember right now. Was it Princess Pika? I don't fucking remember. I really can't. My God, my brain is so bad. But, or another Time Lord. Maybe before First landed where he landed and met Madame Ethel, he had been traveling with Gyro. I bet that's it. I bet that is it. First Librarian was probably traveling with Gyro, ended up here. Gyro got stuck, and the librarian disappeared, and by accident, which is maybe what made him such an asshole to Madame Ethel in the very beginning, and why he was such a dick, because he knows he was irresponsible and lost his first traveling companion. Like, Jesus, it's not a set of keys, guy. God, librarian. First librarian. First. Ugh. Make me mad. You've been gone for so long, but you still make me mad. But anyway, that's the story we'll stick with. So first librarian was traveling with Gyro and lost him. Accidents happen. And Gyro ended up here. And so of course he's going to believe Julius about the alien thing. And I feel like now Gyro would probably have told Julius his story too and explained to him, like, I never doubted your family when you said that you had aliens in your family because, that's how I ended up here. And I didn't want to say anything because it would seem weird because, he obviously isn't going to tell them, like, I came from a different planet in a different time. And, like, you know, God knows where he came from. I don't know, but he's from a totally different planet. But it's like, so this is interesting because, like, Julius has some alien DNA, but was born on this planet from alien. I mean, the aliens set up this planet to exist. I mean, it was supposed to be a science experiment, but they just were like, whatever, we don't care about this planet. Which is sad because I think they didn't have hope for it. I feel like Scion's race didn't have hope for this planet and these beings, and like it wasn't going as well to them. It wasn't progressing to the level that they expected, because they needed someplace else to colonize, and this wasn't working fast enough. So God knows where they are right now. They're probably off on some other planet, destroying it like they destroyed their original one. And, Scion kind of ending up on the planet when he wasn't supposed to be and kind of breeding with the locals. Sounds really freaking gross, but he's like, yeah, it's totally wrong. But like, so Scion mixing his DNA, mixing his DNA with the locals is kind of what spurned this like surge, because if you think about it, like they've progressed pretty fast over 3 generations and they're going to continue to develop pretty fast, but it's partially that alien DNA out there, and something about Scion just being here on this planet. And I do think it's funny that no one's gotten abducted since like that first generation, especially in this game. Like all my other games, like I have it on high, but let's do something. I need to do this. Why? Where's pregnancy? Do I not have the pregnancy one in? I might have taken that one out. Shit. I might have taken it out. I didn't put all of the MC Command Center things back in. And they don't have a computer. Shit. So I didn't put all of the MC Command Center modules back in, like when I was having issues with my game. And I know it wasn't that. I'm pretty sure it was the repair things or things breakless. Whatever. I knew it was one of my other mods that was kind of causing issues. But I didn't put all of the MC Command Center ones back in because I think I was getting a little tired of like everybody getting married and everybody I don't care if everybody gets pregnant, but I really care if everybody marries when it's like, okay, so we're having a relationship with Gyro. Oh, now he's married and impregnated 14 different people. Jesus Christ, game. Like, so I think I took some of them out. Like, I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. And I might have taken the pregnancy one out, which I don't know why I would have because I have the occult in still. And I want pregnancy in, so I don't know. I'll have to double check. Because you should be able to click on him and see, like, I should be able to see the pregnancy, you know what I mean? And see what he's having, and I can't, it's not there anymore, so that's really weird. Unless they changed something with the MC Command Center, and I just have no idea where to find it now. And we don't have a computer, so I can't even check, but you used to be able to click on them, you know? Yeah, because you can't even see it here. And it says current children, but they're... I don't know. Maybe you can't see it because it wasn't... I don't know. It's just weird. You would think the MC Command Center would know that he's pregnant. I mean... I don't know. We'll figure it out. It'll be fine. But yeah, so anyway, I feel like Gyro probably would have told him, like, look, you know, I mean, I feel like I should tell you kind of where I came from, you know, because I think it would have been hard for him at first, you know, because he was a little kid, you know, when he ended up on this planet. So why the hell was First Librarian kidnapping children? You know, it was probably something a lot... Bird, I don't want you on my computer because you're probably going to poop on it, and then I'm going to poop in my keys. I don't want you pooping on my keys. No pookies. Silly bird. Anyway, I feel like maybe the reason why First Librarian kidnapped a child was because maybe Gyro's parents were... You know what? It's First Librarian. He probably landed the TARDIS on Gyro's parents, like freaking bad Wizard of Oz parody, and Gyro ended up being an orphan, and he had to take him in, and then he left him on another planet. First Librarian was really a freaking dick, is what I'm saying, okay? So I'm sure that's what happened, but Gyro probably doesn't really remember. He's probably like, all I remember is traveling with this Time Lord who said that I was an orphan, and I really remember some weird thing. I just feel like my parents were smushed by something, but I can't quite remember, and I feel like he's blocked it out a little. Random sneeze. And that's probably, you know, he's got a little bit of trauma, so I think it's been a little bit hard for him to kind of admit that, like, you know, my parents died or abandoned me. My parents left me. He has no clue that First Librarian accidentally murdered his parents because First Librarian is just a goddamn train wreck and an asshole. I love making him such a horrible, horrible sim. It's just because he made me mad so often. I'm surprised I finished that challenge with how awful First was. Anyway, so, you know, and then he takes Gyro in and then accidentally loses him. Like, hey, look who's stalking us. Oh, wait, that's our mom, isn't it? Yeah, no, it's okay. Oh, is that our daddy? Oh, daddy, come back. It is. Oh, it's our mommy and daddy. We love you. You're okay. Well, we know Aiden's not dead, so that's a good thing. I mean, Nova, you know, she's really all about herself. She's a little too self-involved all of a sudden. I don't know what happened to her. She used to be good, you know. She used to be a good Sam. Like, she was always good and wise and everything. And then I don't know what happened. I feel like it's probably voodoo that Freya was doing that made Nova just like, oh, whatever. I'm all about myself and in my own little world. Damn, Freya's such a bitch. She's evil, man. She's really evil. But... you know, but yeah, Gyro's story. Sorry, we were talking about him. So, look, he's sad because he's remembering. It's not because he's gloomy. You know what? You know what?
Sabing
That's probably why he grew up gloomy, because there's just this inner sadness and he doesn't quite know why, because he's blocked those memories. Don't remember. It's okay to not remember. I don't want you to remember. And I feel like his rage toward wind chimes has. Ooh, we'll go pee, you stupid. Third trimester in 23 hours. Oh! Well, are you going to go pee or what, dumbass? Oh, wait. I thought you had to go pee. Look at how fat he is. Look at your fat little belly. He's cute. I love it when my Sims have babies, but I really hate babies, so it's really weird. But anyway. So you need to go have some fun. Why don't you go take a bath? Take a bubble bath. That should be fun. Why are you so dirty? You just took a bath like a couple of... We literally started the game with you taking a bath, and now you need another one? Man, see, babies suck. Look how dirty he is. Like, anyway. But yeah, so I feel like Gyro's rage at the wind chimes is probably due to something to do with First. First probably had wind chimes. Freya's wondering if I want to go over her house. Don't even answer that frickin' pigeon. Because you know it's not really a text message. It's carrier pigeon. He's like, bitch, I moved on from your era. You stay in your own time. I'll stay in mine. But I feel like that's probably why he has this weird rage toward wind chimes. Is probably First. First probably had a ton of wind chimes because he was obnoxious. And there's something... I wonder if Gyro really remembers. You know? Like, maybe being a kid and being so traumatized as his parents being murdered or dying on him or abandoning him, whatever he actually thinks happened, because maybe he doesn't really know. First did drop the TARDIS on them. I'm going to say that's probably 98% what happened. But Gyro doesn't quite remember. He just knows his parents left. And I'm wondering if maybe, you know, he... You know, and the being with First and the wind chimes, and like maybe he doesn't quite remember because he got abandoned here as a child. You know, and it seemed to all happen fast, and he was already kind of traumatized. So maybe there's this weird thing in his mind that he like kind of remembers, but kind of doesn't. You know? But also, maybe there was a point in time where even though he was left here as a child and he met Tiberius and everything, he was also then taken by First again. Maybe First came back and found him. And then he, you know, when he was a little bit older, so like his young adultness, club cosplay. No, sorry, because I just don't think that would be the right club for me to join. And maybe First eventually did come back. And to Gyro it had been years, but to First it hadn't been that long. And Gyro spent a little bit of time. To him, it seemed like maybe longer, or actually, it probably wouldn't have seemed that long. And he came back days later, you know, days in this SimWorld time. And that's why he had the weird fashion sense. Like, he grew up, because like when he was a kid, he was normal in the normal world. But then as a teen and a young adult, he had the crazy hat on and he wasn't dressed. You know what I mean? So, like, maybe there was a point where First came back, found him, took him again, and then ended up bringing him back because Gyro was like, no, I really want to go back. Like, why did you take me again? Like, First was like, oh my god, I finally found you. Okay, I'm coming back, take you. And the Gyro was like, no, now it's kidnapping. Like, now it's kidnapping because I'm happy where I was. Like, put me back. You know? But maybe it seemed like a couple of months. Maybe it was a couple of months. I mean, we don't know. Gyro wasn't always at our house every day. We have no idea what happened in his life. So he could have been gone for a couple of months, traveling with First and being like, look, take me back. And First, obviously being the dick that he is, would have been like, no, 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 no. And then finally brought him back. Or maybe Gyro figured out how to escape. And that's why First ended up where he was and meeting Madame Ethel and was kind of a jerk to her at first. You know, he was just impossible. Because, you know, I feel like there was probably a guilt thing about killing Gyro's parents and kidnapping the kid when he was happy where he was. And that, you know, I mean, like, he did all that wrong, and he's got to know. Thank God he regenerated into second, because... And Gyro, I'm sure, is probably a little bit paranoid, thinking someday that crazy person's going to come back. You know. But now he's safe with Julius, and, you know... But I feel like maybe he doesn't quite remember what happened as a kid, but he remembers that other instance of spending some time with the Time Lord and time traveling, even though it only seemed like days in our time, like for this world, but it was months for him, you know? And that would kind of explain why he's older and yet not. Not really. That really doesn't explain anything, but whatever. You know, work with me here. It's The Sims, and we're going with the story. Okay, yeah, so you need to go pee. Oh, you were already going to go pee. Yeah, you need to resume that instead of starting something new. I'm getting annoyed. And then why don't you come down here after you pee? You can't do a yoga routine because you're freaking pregnant. I'm pretty sure there's pregnant yoga, but whatever. Can you go for a jog? You can't exercise. He needs exercise. He's dying, but he can't exercise. Can you go for a jog? You can't go jogging when pregnant. Bullshit! He's like, I need to exercise, but I can't. Did you just break the toilet, you a-hole? Whatever, he's pregnant. I'll have you repair that. We do have money, but we'll have you repair it, and then we'll have you mop up the spot, the tiny little puddle. But anyway, so yeah, so I kind of feel like that's kind of, I guess, the story that's building. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this part up here. I know it's a little bit shorter than normal, but I got to try to cut things down a little bit, even though this one's going really good. I definitely don't want to have the baby right now. There goes my phone again. But yeah, so I kind of want to drag out how long till we have the baby. So anyway, because I got to get names together that fit. So we've got a good list of names going. I want to find names that kind of fit with the generation, you know, kind of like what I was trying to do, like Julius and Tiberius and Freya kind of had those names that sounded, even though they came from sci-fi shows, they kind of sounded like they belonged in the early civilization. So I got to kind of find boho-y names. So actually, I think let's go through. The ones I kind of pulled out of the huge list that we have, Ambrose, which was from Tin Man and from Stargate, so that was used. And I like that. That's like a male name. Elric from Babylon 5. And I think those were the two boy names I pulled out of my list that kind of seemed like they could fit. And the girl names, Aquiel from The Next Generation, Henley from Voyager, and River from Firefly and Doctor Who. So I kind of figured, definitely River, I kind of think that's a good one, for this generation. So those were the kind of ones that I kind of pulled out that would kind of, I feel like, kind of fit in the boho kind of era. Because I kind of want to, like I said, I want to use our sci-fi names, that's the whole point, and have them kind of fit with the boho kind of theme as best we can. So let me know what you think of those ones, and then, yeah, and we'll figure out when we have the baby, because I don't know what happened and why I can't test his pregnancy, so it's weird. But anyway, I will wrap this part up here. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.